This will be a 1 hour session. Our program structure, we will have about 40 minutes for the main session. We will have 2 to 5 minutes brief about the working groups, and also 20-minute breakout rooms where you can ask questions to the working groups. So yeah, if you're in social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, yeah, share
Yeah,
it,
please.
volunteering, Hot Working Group, or Hot WG Open Hour 2022, our official hashtags. So yeah, here is our agenda today. So since we have new people or new friends coming in here, we'll talk about a brief about what is hot and what are hot working groups, and also an introduction, yeah, each about each working group, and yes, some breakout session and closing, which also includes group photo. So hopefully you can join us until the closing. So yeah, for those who are new here, especially for those who are new here, uh, HOT, or the Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, is an international non-government organization dedicated to humanitarian action and community development through open mapping. So we work to provide map data which supports disaster management, risk reduction, and also contributes to the achievement of the sustainable development goals. We are also working, or HUT is working towards a world where everyone is counted, where map data is accessible and used in decisions that save and improve lives, and also where everyone can engage and contribute to the map. So our main tool that we use, of course, it's in our name, Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, is the free and open editable map of the world called OpenStreetMap. So anyone can map, and anyone can contribute to the map. So we all know that, yeah, OpenStreetMap is dubbed as the Wikipedia of maps. So this is what we do to achieve our goals, social impact and community development through open mapping. So yeah, we're not only focused on improving the map, but we also work in these other sectors, supporting OpenStreetMap communities, mobilizing contributors, capacity development, partnerships, yeah, and all of those. And with that, since yeah, we're not only working to improve the map, we're also, yeah, working to support OpenStreetMap communities, and also we want people to engage beyond the map, or we encourage people to engage beyond the map. And yeah, that's why we're here, to know about the hot working group. So yeah, if you are a mapper, you're a rockstar mapper, validator, thank you. But yeah, I hope this session will also give you a brief overview about the other working groups that you can join and you can contribute to in your own time, aside from mapping. So yeah, hot working groups are open to everyone and are where the wider hot OSM community can come together or plan and work on projects that we have on a specific area of interest. So yeah, these are the 8 or 7 working groups that are active today. So the first one is the activation working group. Let me check if
It's me.
okay. Russell.
I'll need to co-host.
Go ahead, Russ.
All right, so just for everybody's knowledge, Arlie and I are in the same room, so you'll hear my voice coming from her because she's got the better internet. But I'm going to try to share at least one slide here. So just bear with me. And you're still sharing. Clicking the wrong button, sorry. So yeah, just a little bit of background. Yeah, unfortunately, my colleague Harry from the AP Hub is sick and couldn't make it today, so I'm kind of doing this totally unprepared. But for those of you that don't know me, I'm the disaster response coordinator for the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team. So I've been doing this a long time, and hopefully I can give you enough information about the activation working group in a few minutes. The slide here, basically, you can, it's fairly self-explanatory. It's showing all the way from 2008, when sort of the founding members of humanitarian OpenStreetMap team and the OpenStreetMap community started looking at how to use OpenStreetMap for disaster response and helping first responders as well as aid agencies get the data that they needed in order to provide life-saving services. So you can see in those first couple of years, it was kind of more of a exploratory kind of thing that, just to see if it was going to be a viable solution. So there was only a couple of responses in 2008 and 2009. But then in 2010, most of you, I guess there's enough of you that are new to OpenStreetMap, so I'll try to keep this short. But in 2010 was an earthquake in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and it was really the first time that this concept of getting together and crowdsourcing geospatial data for humanitarian response was really put to the test, and it was super successful. So you can see there was 10 other responses that year, and throughout the next couple of years there were plenty more responses. And to give you a little more about the activation working group itself, is really the activation working group was the founding of HOT, right? It was people getting together to talk about this concept of disaster response or disaster mapping. And you can see, yeah, throughout sort of our history, we've successfully responded to a lot of disasters. And I'll just point out, in 2015, we kind of finally sat down and said, let's write some procedures and protocol for how this is supposed to work, so that we can be more replicable and successful in each of our responses. So you can see, kind of moving into 2016 to 2020, we were doing a lot more. And actually, you'll see that the sort of orange bar represents local communities coming out and actually sort of using our same concept to organize response to themselves. And yeah, things just kind of picked up from there. Yeah, and you can see, like, in 2021, we had a lot of responses that we looked at, and quite a few that we actually responded to. With the protocol kind of being able to be more sort of restrictive on what we decide to respond to and what we don't. If there is a local community, if there's a request for data, those kind of things. And what the activation working group really does is build those procedures and policies and have that conversation about like, how do we do this properly, and how do we come together to make disaster response successful. So I invite all of you to join. We're actually kind of on pause until the end of the year. So January 5th will be the next time we actually meet together. But if you go to our Slack and go to the disaster mapping channel, you can join in the conversation at any point. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Russ. So yeah, if you're into this disaster mapping and disaster activation, creating projects, coordinating projects, feel free to join the activation working group. Also share this slide. So yeah, and the next one, we'll also share this slide to you later. So the next one, next working group is the community working group. Go ahead, James.
All right, thank you, Annalie. So basically, what's working groups? Somebody might ask, what is a working group? Now, a working group is a collective of people that come together to discuss and talk about various scopes or various aspects of the HOT framework. And most of these working groups are classified to be able to give scope to conversations. As we've just heard, we've had a conversation around activation that talks about disaster mapping and disaster response. And some of these other working groups have other focuses that I would highlight shortly. Now, the first of which is the community working group, which I happen to be a part of. And basically, it facilitates community discussions, initiatives, and webinars. So over the community working group, we sit down, we talk about happenings in the community in terms of OpenStreetMap and how it is being used and how it is impacting lives. We also give shout outs to other communities or other members that are pushing forward the volunteering agenda, and then they are using the OpenStreetMap that would go deeper into it. Please, next slide.
Wonderful. Thank you, James, for talking about the community working group. So if you are in community related discussion, if you are interested and also organizing webinars, feel free to join the community working group. We'll have questions and answers later. If you have any questions, the next working group, we don't have the chair of the governance working group here, but I'm part of the governance working group. So the governance working group, as it says, they review and proposes governance changes. So if you are knowledgeable in open governance or open mapping governance, or you are also interested to know more about how open governance work, we have a small team of people who are working for the governance working group at HOT. So we have a private channel on Slack, and if you are interested to join, kindly email the governance at hotosm.org. And we meet every month, just 1 month, with on the first Thursday, and rotating 7 o'clock and 17 o'clock UTC via Google Meet. So the next meeting should be in next year. There will be no meeting this year, this December, but we'll check the hot working group calendar later to also let you know about the next meetings. Thank you. Another working group is the Quality Control and Assurance Working Group. Over to you, Ralph.
Oh, yes. Hi, everyone. Yeah, quite a name, Quality Control and Assurance. HOT has had a long-standing history and continued focus on the management of the quality of the mapping of the data produced and the tech and methods which can improve the initial quality of the mappers. So we work together with the tech teams and other partners who have developed ways to look at and improve data quality and mapping experience. Together, we aim to develop recommended solutions to those challenges, as well as directing, tackling, and looking at some of the problems as we go. We have our own terms of reference, and we meet twice a month, alternating weekly from 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. UTC, and we use Jitsi. We're on the working group's calendar, so please have a look at the working group calendar. If you may consider now that since its inception on Tasking Managers, we have had 11,179 projects in 158 countries. So you can understand that trying to maintain and look after the quality of all of this needs extra hands. So we very happy for any of you to come and join us and give us a hand and help us to carry out this very important function. Just remember, whenever anyone uses the map, if they see bad mapping and terrible things on the map, that reduces their confidence in what we're doing. We would rather improve the confidence, so come along and help us to help everyone else to map better. Thank you, Annalie.
Thank you so much, Ralph. So if you are interested in making sure of data quality in humanitarian open mapping and at HAT, you should join the Quality Control and Assurance Working Group. Very long title. And the next one, Training Working Group. Over to you, Michael.
Yeah, so welcome everyone here. So Ralph just pointed out that data quality is an important point, and of course, the better mappers are trained and the better resources they have available in order to look things up, the fewer headaches he and his team will have. So training definitely is an important point. And so we have two main fields of activity. So I could just let me see. Hold on for a second. Like to share a screen. Yep, quickly. So oops. Okay. Sorry for the little interruption here. Okay, that should work. And here we are. I hope you can see it. So one of the bits here is LearnOSM. LearnOSM, the website, learnosm.org, covers, well, not just humanitarian mapping, but all kinds of things OpenStreetMap. So, of course, introductions for beginners, such as how to use the ID editor. Also, lots of details about JOSM. The coordination chapter will involve a user and administrator guide for the tasking manager. We'll have pages on how to map with mobile devices. And all that here also in quite a number of languages. So it's all volunteer work. So feel invited to browse through that. And if you feel something looks out of date or you feel competent in one of the languages we offer and update the translation work, just let us know. We always need helping hands. Other than that, we also produce a series of webinars, most of which are available here on HOT's YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/HOTOSM. And so there are some available here about JOSM. So we've got a JOSM for beginners, and we also have advanced JOSM, which should come down a little further here. Usually we hold them every few months. Beginners and advanced versions are also available for ID. So that's just what we usually work on. Of course, if you've got suggestions for further webinars, feel invited to share them with us. We meet every 2 weeks, so stop sharing. So maybe Annalie, you might return to the slide. So it's every second Monday at 18:30 UTC, and the next one will be next Monday. To get in touch, we have a dedicated channel on the HOT Slack, the training working group channel, but we usually also monitor the Mapper Support and LearnOSM channels. And you can also get in touch through email by writing to training@hotosm.org. And I think that's about what I'm going to cover right now.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michael. So yeah, training working group. If you are happy or interested in contributing to training materials and also holding webinars and training sessions, ID editor and JOSM editor. Thank you. And the next one, second to the last, the technical working group. Over to you, Petya.
Great, thanks Arnalie, and hi everyone, it's Petya here. I am part of the HOT Tech and Innovation team. Really nice to hear actually about the other working groups, because one thing before I talk specifically about the tech one to say, it's really nice that there's ways of kind of collaboration. So with the tech one that you hear now, we've collaborated with the data quality one, the training one. So yeah, really nice to be in this session and hear about the different ones, but I think there's a lot of cross kind of collaboration. So the technical working group, as I think it says in the title, it's all about like thinking really the technology that we in the tech team are developing, but it's really focusing on getting input from users on what we're building. And as you know, with any of the tech that we are working on, it is an open source. So there's so many other tools like within that ecosystem. A bit of a background. So the technical working group started some years back, but it kind of like moved into having more of subgroups focusing on different tools that that the Hot Tech and Innovation team have been working on. So I'm sure some of you maybe here have joined. So back in 2021, we started an OSM Galaxy working group, which is now stopped as some of the work is moving into other tools. So I think what's exciting for you to hear and what you can join is the Tasking Manager meetups. So they focus specifically on the Hot Tasking Manager, and we started them in April this year. They run on a monthly, basis on the second Wednesday of the month at 9 and 15 UTC. I'll share again a form that you can use to register. And the focus really on the meetups is an opportunity to hear about some of the updates specifically to the Tasking Manager. We're working in collaboration with Kathmandu Living Labs and their team. So they write blogs, but it's an opportunity to hear updates, but really input with any maybe challenges you're facing, and and just meet other people who are working on the Tasking Manager. I think those have been going well. And the other thing, and you can see on the slides, you can join the Tasking Manager Slack channel as a start for this one. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that actually you can see on this slide, we had kind of a first session to, in a way, restart an open and tech innovation space. So having a space that's not specific to just one product, but where people can join, different users can join and bring different ideas. And we can talk about not just the tools we're now working on, but any other. So I'll share a link as well to a forum. I think that's quite exciting, and it's something that we're just getting input from people to be able to set more regular workshops or calls that are talking about tech and innovation. Maybe that's all I wanted to say. There are two Slack channels. You can see the Tasking Manager, and we just started the Geospatial Tech and Innovation. You have the email. We also have the Twitter, HotOSM Tech. And I would say, if you have any questions or interest, you can email me and also my colleague Sine, who is our open innovation facilitator. So if you have any ideas related to the tools, you can first also reach out to us. Thanks, Arnaldi.
Thank you, Petya. So join the technical working group if you're interested in tech. We have lots of tech tools and also open to innovation. So and if you have any questions to Petya later, we'll have breakout rooms. So you can ask her. So, and the last one, last but not the least, the Hot Summit Working Group. Pete, what does the Hot Summit Working Group do?
Thanks, Annalie. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. See if that works. So if you can let me know if you can see it, that'd be good. Okay, cool. So the Hot Summit is a conference that Hot has organized since 2015, and you can see on this website, it's been in various places around the world, and it's essentially, it was designed as a space that could bring together mappers, map users, partners, humanitarian organizations, funders, organizations to come and discuss and share and build strong networks around open mapping, OpenStreetMap, and the kind of humanitarian social impact use of those things. The working group has changed over time in response to our environment and what we're trying to do. So the first few were kind of standalone events that were just the Hot Summit. In 2018, we had a joint event with FOSS4G in Dar es Salaam. And this one, I think, in Heidelberg was with State of the Map. And then in 2021, they became online. Thank you, COVID. So the role of the working group obviously changed a bit. And then in 2022, we've tried a new approach to the Hot Summit, where instead of holding a central event, we've tried to take the resources, human and financial, and that we would invest in a single event and instead invest in existing community mapping conference events around the world. So this is kind of what the Hot Unsummit has looked like over the past 6 to 9 months. So the working group essentially makes this happen. Obviously, with the Unsummit, there's a whole bunch of organizing committees of other events we work with. But essentially, the staff and volunteers in the working group belong to various committees. So there's a programs committee, a volunteer committee, scholarships committee. It does look like Arnali's in all of them, but she's not. Social events committee, communications, logistics, sponsorship, and monitoring, evaluation, and learning. And this working group is a little bit different because people don't. It's hard for people to join kind of whenever throughout the year because it's on an event cycle. So it tends to be that at the beginning of planning of a summit event or an unsummit program, people come and join the working group, and that's likely to be happening in the first few months of next year as we finish this current program. The working group tends to meet on a Tuesday at midday UTC every couple of weeks, and there's a Slack channel that we use for communication. In the meantime, I think that's it. I'm going to share a blog post, which is a report on the most recent Unsummit program. We were about halfway through the program a month ago, so it might be of interest if you think this working group could be for you. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Pete. So yeah, now that we know all the working groups, we're start to think now which one best interests you. Although we will have around 25 minutes for the breakout session. So you can go from break room to room. So and also I'm sharing here with you the hot working group calendar. You can check there the schedule of meeting times. So if you go to that link, it will show you a Google Calendar, and there's a plus sign on the bottom right of your screen. And if you're signed into Google, it will be added to your Google Calendar. So I think this is now the time for breakout rooms. But before that, let us no. Okay, we'll just open the breakout room. So we will have around 25 minutes and then we'll go to the session. Let me just open the rooms now. And if you are joining us via the YouTube live streaming, we will now end the session, or we will now end the live streaming. So thank you for watching us via the live streaming. We will also share the recordings and also link for feedback after for this session after this. So I am opening the rooms. So the chairpersons of the working groups, kindly go to your room. We will not have a governance working group for now. So sorry about that. But opening up the rooms now, and also